Hello. A couple of weeks ago I spent some time in Hunstanton, a lovely seaside town in Norfolk. The weather was hot and sunny, and I relaxed on a bench looking out to sea. The seagulls were surprisingly well behaved, except for one. There's always one. It inspired me to write The Seagull Tornado. The Seagull Tornado. Sergei the seagull was cruising the coastline searching for a target. He wanted somewhere with lots of naive tourists sitting outside innocently eating their fish and chips. Sergei had been expelled from his current squad. He was not popular because he was bullish and aggressive. He swooped on little children and old ladies, snatching their chips and leaving them annoyed or even frightened. He said to himself, Hunstanton, this looks like the right sort of place. And there, just behind the beach, was a lovely patch of green grass surrounded by a large picnic area. Families and friends were seated at the benches eating their fish and chips. He perched on a railing and observed. Easy pickings, he thought to himself. He watched a local squad of seagulls waiting patiently for scraps to be thrown, or standing meekly by the bins waiting hopefully. Load of mamby-pambies, he thought to himself. I'll show them how it's done. He launched himself, squealing and flapping his wings in a most aggressive manner towards a little boy. The child, full of alarm, cried out, dropped his chips on the ground. Sergei picked up the fattest chip and flew to the nearby railings. Meanwhile, the resident squad of seagulls looked on in horror. This sort of behaviour was enough to drive the tourists away. Sydney, the leader of the squad, gathered the seagulls around him. Right, lads, we need to teach this guy a lesson. His deputy, Scott Seagull, nodded. You mean the Seagull Tornado? Yes, said Sydney. He beckoned to Sergei to join them. Sergei flew in, legs outstretched, landing on the grass with great bravado. You want to learn from Sergei, he swaggered. No, said Sydney. We want you to get off our patch. You don't belong here, and we don't like what you're doing. We have rules and regulations and a strict code of conduct. I see, said Sergei. I know what this is. This is racial discrimination. I'll have the Equalities Commission on you. Up stepped Samir Seagull. That's where you're wrong. We have all manner of ethnicity here. Well, I don't give tuppence for your silly rules and regulations. I shall do things my way. Sydney gave the signal. Suddenly, all the seagulls took to the sky, one above the other, all wildly circling. As soon as the Seagull Tornado was in place, Sydney gave the signal, and with a terrific whoosh, the tornado advanced towards Sergei, who was just about to swoop on another innocent victim. A column of seagulls sent Sergei crashing to the ground. He sat there, dazed, only vaguely aware that the tourists were cheering. That, said Sydney to Sergei, is what we call a seagull tornado. Would you like to see it again? No, thank you, huffed Sergei as he heaved his battered wings and bruised body into the air and disappeared until he was just a dot in the distance. Thank you for listening. If you enjoy my stories and poems, don't forget to like and subscribe. But this is all for now. See you soon. Bye.